You look fantastic.
Thanks so much.
You know, I'm doing a little research for our interview here, and I saw that it was 10 years ago that you had one of your biggest, one of your first roles. You were in Once on Broadway.
Yeah. I can't believe it was 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
It's bananas.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What do you remember about, because you got nominated for Tony for that.
I did.
Yeah?
I was.
Yeah. Was. That's right. Talk more. Tell me more about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was wild. It was like beyond anything I ever could have imagined. It was really like a golden experience. It was beautiful.
Do you get nervous when famous people come see the show?
Terribly.
Do you like to not know?
I like to not know. I don't even like to know when friends of mine are there.
Right.
I've gotten a lot chiller about that.
Yeah.
Now, because that's not quite a chill thing to do. It'd be like, come see it, but don't tell me. I don't do that.
You're not quite doing that.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. But I was really always very, very nervous. And there was one night where I enter like through the back of the audience for that show, and so you wait in the back of the house, and I saw there was Secret Service everywhere.
Yeah.
And Beyonce and Jay-Z had been coming to see like a lot of Broadway shows that week, and I was like, here we go. Like I was like, well, they're here. Well, oh, this is great.
I'm about to meet them.
And I'm about to meet, and I was like shaking, and I was like, I can't believe they're here. I can't believe they're gonna see it. Okay, all right. And we did the show, and then they quickly, as soon as it ends, they were like, come backstage. Someone pretty special wants to meet you guys. And we were all like shaking.
Beyonce
and I was
heard
like,
me
oh my
sing.
God,
What am I gonna do?
Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And they were like, okay, guys, come on out. Joe Biden's here. And I was like,
yes.
Which, you know,
all right.
it's different.
It's a different type of...
It's just different.
It's a different special.
It's different.
It's a different type of special.
It's a different type of special, but it's very, they're pretty different.
Yeah. Did Beyonce ever come to see the show?
She didn't make it. I think she had stuff she had to do, and I'm sure they're busy.
She never saw Once.
Yeah, that's right. She didn't see it once.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Right,
nuts. She saw it nuts.
She saw it nuts.
Yeah, she saw it nuts. That's okay.
We asked you if you had any photos of anyone backstage, and you were like,
yeah.
I guess. But then, wow, this is a home run.
Home run.
Liza Minnelli came to see you. That would freak me out more than...
Oh, well, you can see I'm out of my body. She came and I burst into doves, and I couldn't. I was beside myself because she's an icon.
Oh, it's Liza Minnelli.
There's no one greater. Yeah. And her whole entire career. I mean, I just rewatched Arrested Development in lockdown, and her on that is incredible.
Liza Minnelli is just she's a legend, amazing.
Yeah, and Arrested Development is it's like funny Succession.
I didn't think
As I was watching, I mean, Succession is very funny too, but I was like, whoa. There's like some...
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say to Liza Minnelli?
Nothing. I think I just stammered and shook and got sweaty and...
But which did everyone freak out?
She was lovely. She lined us all up, and she went up and down the line and gave everyone like 2 specific compliments while holding their shoulders. She held my face. I mean, I passed out. I couldn't believe it. I don't remember what she said, but... Yeah.
I love Liza Minnelli.
I know.
Speaking of icons,
I was so nervous.
There's a thing, there's a Cher biopic in the works. And I'm excited about that, because I'm a big Cher fan.
Yeah.
But there's fans on Twitter that said that you should play her in the biopic.
Well, and I was very flummoxed by that.
Yeah.
Flattered. But,
flattered and flummoxed.
Well, and flattered and flummoxed and bursting into bats.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I realized a friend of mine had told me about it, and I think I had found it so outlandish and, like, lovely, but, like, I was like, well, no. Like, she's Cher, and I mean, I worship at her feet, too, but she's, like, a slinky cat. And I'm like, you know, I'm like Don Knotts on a boat. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
He's having fun, but he's windswept.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
Like, you think you're Don Knotts on a boat compared to Slinky Cat?
Yeah, like she's like chic and she's like all... And I just...
You're Don Knotts.
On a boat, Jimmy. Did I stutter? Yeah.
Don Knotts on a boat.
You know what I mean? Like, she's so like...
Yeah.
Hey, babe. Groovy.
She is, she's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I mean, I've seen Burlesque 30 times.
But what if there's a Don Knotts biopic? You up for that?
Yeah. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight tooth and nail. Yeah. I'm gonna be like, get this, he's on a boat. Yeah.
He has long hair.
Yeah, he has long hair.
And he's gorgeous.
But he's on a boat.
Made for Love, season 2 premieres this Thursday on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I love the first season. Everyone loved the first season. Congrats on the great reviews. How do you set up season 2? Where do we go from here?
Well...
It's trickier.
Gosh. It is trickier.
Well, your
Yeah.
husband's planted a chip in your brain.
And he can see everything. And then my one ally is my father. I've been gaslit by my husband. I'm now gaslighting my father. It is a comedy, but I now have
Romano
to.
plays your dad.
Ray Romano plays my dad. But she has to live this like double life lie now, and so it gets very, very murky.
Very tricky.
Very tricky.
And you and Billy are great together. You guys have worked together?
Yeah, we played husband and wife in this indie film a million years ago, and it was like the first film that. It was the first job that I ever just got like a phone call and they were like, they want you to play this role. And I was like, they do, which is great, but then they don't.
You have to audition.
You don't have to audition, which is so great, but then they don't know what you're gonna do. So I showed up and I had like 4 lines, but I made this whole backstory that she had a pill addiction and she wore shoes that were too small, so I'd walk weird, and I had a dress that I couldn't like turn around in, so that she'd have to be like really like slurry but like locked. And
That's a choice.
Yeah, I'll say.
For 4 lines.
For 4 lines. Yeah, well, I was like, well,
Did
I gotta
you talk to the director or anyone before you thought of this choice?
No.
So you came on set as this person.
So I came on set.
You go, oh, get
and
ready.
They were like,
Are the
great.
cameras rolling?
As the camera's rolling.
Here comes this person.
And I came up and I forget what my first line, but it was something like, thanks for inviting me to the party or something. And I was like in a sausage dress being like, thanks for inviting me to the party. And they were like, cut. No. And she was like, and I remember the director, like, and it was a big party scene, and she came over and she was like, what is going on? Yeah, like, what?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Exactly. They were like, are you nervous? And I was like, no, well, she has a pill addiction.
My character has a pill
how do
addiction?
And I had 4 lines, and I was like, she's like, well, because she took a lot of pills before the party, I don't know. And they were like, yeah, can you just like make her Southern? And I was like, you got it. And then they were like, all right, action. And I was like,
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. It was like, yeah, really great being at this party.
Disaster.
Disaster. And Billy and I got up to, we took a train to Toontown. We were getting, because then I was like, well, now everything's out the window. I'm Southern. I had a whole thing
Is
going.
he Southern too now?
I believe he was. I don't
So he's like,
remember.
hey, y'all.
Yeah. I don't think the picture, I just like went to the 40s. The movie, I don't think
the picture has never made it.
I didn't think the picture even took place in the South. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
It didn't take place in the South.
didn't
No, and both of us were just like, oh my Lord. Like, because
Can we see that movie? Can we see you in it?
You personally cannot.
I really want to.
You can't, I'm sorry.
I really can't.
No.
I promise you, as a friend, I promise
You guys can't.
All right, yeah, we
No.
can't.
Anyone in the room is
But we
not
can
allowed,
watch you
unfortunately.
in Made for Love.
Yeah.
On HBO Max. Want to show everyone a clip? Here's Kristen Milioti in Made for Love. Take a look.
Hello? My ghost or something? Do you people not see me? I know that you know who I am. I am Hazel Gogol, and I am allowed to be down here now because I have this. You. What is your name?
William. Is that a severed finger?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. You genius. You need to tell them that I'm allowed to be down here, and that they can talk to me like I'm a normal person because they're all looking at me like I'm the boogeyman.
Right, you're right. I'll correct this immediately.
How fun! Kristen Milioti, everybody. Season 2 of Made for Love premieres Thursday on HBO Max.
Hey, hey.